Hey guys, what's been happening? It's been a little while since I made a video, so figured it was good a time as any to make a new one. Now this one, I've really been thinking lately, thinking about mental health, exhaustion, everything that's been going on with the last few months. The holidays are always a stressful time, so whether you've been going through some personal stuff,
little heartbreak, work it into the story. Make those characters a little more three-dimensional. Little richer experience for the reader.
And obviously there's been, setbacks with the virus and businesses have been struggling and organizations and all that, just canceled plans. It's been a difficult journey for a lot of people here. So there's been a couple of reasons why I want to start and make this video here today. Okay, aside from like mental health and just kind of thinking about, what this year has meant, just personally, and some of you folks at home watching, but that movie, that show on Netflix that came out that was Don't Look Up, I think that was a good culmination of some of the things that have happened in the past year, and it kind of got me thinking about some of the things, my thoughts on those things. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there, rapid fire, take a look at some of the things that have been going on this year, hopefully a bit better things in 2022. Of course, we have to start with January 6th and that insurrection at the Capitol. So, who doesn't like to start the year off on a strong note, thinking about, a nation divided, and of course, the things that the former president has said, however you feel about that, I don't really care. It was an insurrection. But just the thought of how we started this year really kind of summed things off from the get-go. So now we go into point number 2. February. What a time to be alive if you're a rich person. Jeff Bezos, among others, he stepped down as the Amazon CEO and decided to focus on more important things like launching himself into space in a penis rocket ship.
And we have liftoff. Go, New Shepard, go. Vehicle is at its maximum, the toughest point in flight for the vehicle.
Colonel, you better take a look at this radar.
What is it, son?
I don't know, sir, but it looks like a giant
Dick!
Yeah.
Take a look out of starboard.
Oh my God, it looks like a huge...
Which is kind of scary, actually, when you think about it, because if you remember that movie 2012, basically all the rich people, they had this escape plan when the world went to shit, and I feel like that's probably setting, some kind of precedent here with what Bezos and everyone else has done, launching themselves into space. Just, by the time we were done polluting this planet to death, those elite people, those elite rich, I am 100% certain, the conspiracy part of me is 100% certain that they will all fly to another planet and survive and leave all of us normal folk in the dust. Of course, 2021 also brought us a lot of differing opinions from the CDC. Now, I'm going to start this part off by saying I'm in no way a science denier. I do believe in what the World Health Organization and the CDC have been trying to do. But when you start off by saying, hey, all the Americans will be able to get a vaccine by the end of April, and then, some people get it, some people don't. That's how it all works. But the fact that things have changed so many times from, just get your vaccine, you'll be all good. It's some of the, just developing... just information as things, as they do when you have all this scientific stuff going on. We develop new plans, but it kind of seems like, and the memes will tell you, if you believe all the memes and everything, but the memes have been a part of, I think, just a sort of understanding and throwing the hands up, so to speak, to be like, just like the CDC and World Health Organization, we really don't know what to do with this whole vaccine and virus situation. So another great thing about 2021. Of course, another thing that happened in 2021, it wouldn't be another year without another list of people that were charged or accused of sexual assault and harassment. That's, of course, good for the victims that these allegations have come forth and some of the punishments that have been thrown their way. But just as a society, it's continuing to be a thing that's really disgusting. But I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. Here's a list you're probably seeing right now of some of the folks who have been accused in 2021 of sexual assault or harassment. So wonderful. Now, for those of you who don't know, I do make videos for a school, and one of the things that I made a video about this year was TikTok. Now, I will say social media has its pluses and minuses. TikTok is no different. There are definitely some positives from it, some positivity that can come from social media. However, there have been a couple of things, namely like the devious lick trend, which is where apparently you went and people were encouraged to destroy property at their schools or wherever in order to gain clout. That's really weird. Destruction of property, why are we doing this? I don't know. And then the other one being the school threats that were made in December. So had to endure that one. Of course, about half the nation, I think, kids were staying home, and some schools didn't even open because of the threats that occurred over TikTok. So thank you for that, TikTok. Really appreciate it. Okay, before I go any further, I felt like I should have probably put this at the beginning of the video, but the reason that I'm kind of like in this mindset right now of sort of being a curmudgeon, if you will, is just 2020 has been exhausting for everybody, I think. I guess unless you're the super rich, and even then some of those people posting about how hard they have it in their mansions. But just as an everyday person, someone trying to buy a house, it has been an exhausting year. Moving on now to Travis Scott.
My fans really mean the world to me. And
so Travis Scott, as we all I think know at this point, the Astroworld tragedy, 10 people died, and this heartless fuck, it doesn't even stop his show. He continues on, brings Drake up for a song, and then finishes off with one more song before, obviously, all this stuff that we all knew was going on. The facts back that up, and he has these half-assed apologies afterwards. What a wonderful guy. Let's leave Travis Scott back where he belongs, 2021, not bringing him into 2022. Okay, next up is the supply shortage. So I did mention I'm trying to buy a house right now, so that's obviously a difficulty for me personally, but if you were trying to buy a gaming system, trying to buy supplies for home repairs or just crafts or a car, I hope you weren't trying to do anything to do with technology, because anything having to do with supply and demand was a difficult task this year. And of course, now the time that I'm posting this video, it's still kind of fresh, and that was unfortunately the Betty White's passing at 99 years old. 99 years old. She's kind of been this icon of longevity, if nothing else, and just being the one celebrity that people did not want to see in the headlines for that very reason. And unfortunately, we did lose her this year, John Madden not long before that, and of course a whole list of celebrities I'm not going to get into. You're going to have that is life, but just we couldn't get out of 2021 without a couple more really terrible things happening. And I haven't even gotten into all the natural disasters, really in depth about any of the COVID stuff or anything like that, really. So scandals, some of those scandals are left out, but that's a culmination of some of the really negative things that happened in 2021. But as we do, we will not end the video on a negative note. So I will throw out a few positive things that happened this year so we can go into 2022 with some positivity. Now, I'll start this part off by saying I'm not a Buccaneers fan. I actually really did not like Tom Brady and the Patriots for a long time, but you have to respect what the man has done. So the Buccaneers winning a championship, even though they beat my Packers to get there, I think was a wonderful thing. This guy is just going to go down as obviously the best of all time. So we're witnessing history right now to see that happen. Keeping on that sports note, I mentioned, as a Packer fan, so you got to think I'm a Bucs fan as well, which I am. Milwaukee Bucks winning a championship was one of my personal highlights for the year. Something that I didn't think I'd see in my lifetime. Hadn't happened since the 70s, so was immediately bought merch as soon as that final whistle happened. So thank goodness for that in my world anyway. Now, earlier in the video, I did mention TikTok and social media. There is some positivity that happened this year in social media world, and that is that social media has cracked down on politicians and some of the other public figures that have been using the social media channels to push a false narrative.
Thank you!
So if you've been putting false information out there, whether it's related to COVID or not, I'm happy to see that the owners, organizers, whoever is in charge of those types of things were able to shut down some of the negative things that are happening. And that noise in the background is actually my cat telling me he's hungry by knocking his dish over. So that's a fun thing, which leads me to actually the next point, and that is cats and dogs remain to be a huge positive in 2021. Will continue to be that way, hopefully until the end of time. But gotta love that heading into 2022. Get yourself a pet, and if you can take care of it anyway, if you already have one or multiple, love them to death. And then the final thing I wanted to mention is Britney's back, bitch. So
it's Britney, bitch.
There you go. That's a video talking about the bad things and some of the positives from 2021. We'll see you in 2022.